Doing? Man, it's Saturday morning. It is a beautiful morning. It is January 24th. I'm probably going to date these going into the future, but today's my birthday. So, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And it's the first one. So it is what it is. Let me make sure our audio is going good. And I'm going to jump into it. Let some folks come on in. But, man, if you live here in town, you know that it's pretty cold out here. It looks like it's 30 degrees. Um, different weather gauges are saying different things. However, the severe weather shelters are open. So, just know that. Let people know when you're out there. Man, there's a bad accident on the bridge the other day. I don't know if there are any fatalities, but it sure wasn't looking good. Guys, slow down, pay attention, be a defensive driver. It's just not worth, you losing your life because you're trying to get somewhere quick. All right. But let's talk about what this is about and what we're trying to do here, right? So, for those of you that don't know, I had an organization called the League of Black Male Voters. And what that organization is designed to do is to advocate for issues that are centered around Black men, right? If you think about what our issues are, what are they, right? Stereotypically, you might hear things like, oh, it's incarceration or homelessness or, um, not being in the home. You may hear all kinds of different things, and there may be some truth to those stats, and there may not be some truth to those stats. But we're going to go on a deep dive and find out what the actual truth is. And in one of those ways, if you know, for those of you that have been in school, and especially in college, and have taken a statistics class, statistics are very powerful. However, oftentimes you can make numbers say whatever you want them to say. So you can cite a stat, you can build your point around that, and that can be a very dangerous thing depending on what it is your outcome is to be. And so for uh, time in memoriam, Black men have been, pretty scapegoated and just labeled in the most negative ways that you can think. And so, we want to do some uh, uncovering on that and see what really is true. And so that's what this series is going to be about. For the League of Black Male Voters, we're going to be putting out information and data. We're going to be reacting to different videos. There's a gentleman here. We're going to take a look at a video today here in just a few minutes. Who his name is Medium Man. I put his stuff in the description there. Please give him a like, subscribe, and a share. What he's doing is something I wanted to do 2 years ago, right? But this brother here is on top of it. All I can do is just bow down to him and his greatness and the way that he breaks down information. So, what I'm going to do is react to his video and bring the information to you. Now, to give you an example, right, for those of you that haven't seen me in a room or heard this example, we're in the NFL playoffs right now, right? And we know if you're into the NFL at all, the season starts and you see all the players and they're all wearing pink. And what does that represent? All right. Breast care awareness, right? Breast cancer awareness. Absolutely. We know it. We see it. We've got it, right? Now, here's what the interesting thing is. It's a men's league advocating for breast cancer for women. Now, let me ask you this. What is one of the number one killers of cancer of Black men? It's prostate cancer. So, what color is prostate cancer awareness? What month do we acknowledge it? And where do we see it? Do we see it? Is it red? Is it green? Is it blue? Is it black? Do we see it in September? Do we see it in March? Do we see it in April? Do you know the answer to that question? You know when breast cancer awareness is. You see it as soon as you see the pink, right? You know what it is. But you have a league that is majority Black that isn't even advocating for the thing that is killing them in high numbers in regards to cancer. And so that's what the league is about, right? It's advocating for our specific needs, right? We have many of the similar needs in the community: housing, homelessness, taxes, business, entrepreneurship. All these things are important to us, and they could be important to us for similar ways, but also separate ways, right? Even in our own communities, right? We have things that are going to be in common with Black women, but we have things that are specific to us that we also need to acknowledge. And so that's what we're going to do. Hey, what's going on there, Wong? Good to see you, man. Happy New Year to you. And so we need to acknowledge those things, right? And we need to talk about it. And so for years and years and years, whether it's a barbershop or the church or in the schools or in stats or on the news, we're hearing these negative stats about Black men that just aren't true, or it's not the full picture. And so all I hear about myself is 1 in 3 are felons. Not true. We're going to get into that in one of the episodes, right? So we get all of the negative connotations and all of those things, but we don't get the positive ones. We don't get that the CDC says that Black men are the most involved in their children's lives. You probably never heard that stat before, right? So that's what this program is about. And this is what we're going to delve into over the course of this series. So let's get into this video here. Again, this is Medium Man. Shout out to Medium Man again. Let's go ahead and react to him and see what he's got going on here. Now, one of the things that many people use, there's a lot of different statistics that you can cite. And this is blackdemographics.com, which is one that is used a lot. But he also does not just use one site. So he will cross-reference different studies and different statistics, which is also very powerful, right? One study may not tell the whole story. All right, so let's get into it.
If you sent this to a Black woman, what you're saying is not true. Here, Black Demographics says that 54% of Black men have never had a child. You give her the hyperlink, she clicks it, she looks at that picture. And then
54% of Black men are without child. Did you know that? See, the story is that, oh, we're all these deadbeat dads and, we're spreading our seed all over the community. We're not responsible for our children. And the truth is, most of us don't even have children. That's crazy, right? This is the website here, blackdemographic.com. Black men and women ages 15 to 49 who had a biological child. Black men, 46%. Black women, 61%. Black men and women ages 40 to 49 who had a biological child in their lifetime. Black men, 81%. Black women, 87%. Black fathers and mothers who lived with their partners at the first child's birth, 66% of Black men and 41% of Black women. And then we have some other statistics here. Let's get back into it.
And she'll look right under that picture and she'll read that paragraph and say, hold on, you quoting the study where they saying it's underreported. Y'all don't even report all your children. So that number could be what? Higher. Y'all don't even report.
Let me go back to that just so you can see it. That was up there pretty fast, right? Note, this was February 19, 2025. These statistics reflect self-reported data from the National Survey of Family Growth. Research has shown that men are more likely to underreport children they do not live with, which may result in some underestimation of fatherhood rates. The data is weighted for accuracy, but no survey is perfect. These trends should be used to inform discussions, not to assign blame. Okay? Just wanted to make sure you could read that whole thing.
Where they saying it's underreported. Y'all don't even report all your children. So that number could be what? Higher. Where the National Survey of Family Growth actually fits. Federal Health and Demographic Survey. The sample size was 21,441 face-to-face interview. So your use case would be debunking absent father narratives, showing births concentrate among a small subset of men, which we've already known, demonstrating most Black men have 0 children. And the reason.
Now, what I love about what Medium Man does is he really breaks down what he's looking at in regards to statistics, right? Because you're looking at it. Again, if you just go off of the numbers, well, what do the numbers mean? You have a sample size. 21,000 is a very small sample size when we are 6% of the population. Black people are about 13% of the U.S. population, 50% men, or 49% men, 51% women, somewhere around there. 6%. Okay, this is very small, right? So acknowledging that, but then also talking about where the validation comes.
Why this study is accurate is because it was conducted by the NCHS, same institution as the CDC. Large multi-year sample improved stability. And it also oversampled Black Americans for precision. And it also uses validated fertility and fatherhood questions across 50 years.
Another thing that I wanted to add there that's not related to this particular video, but there's another person that we're going to look at both what the real stats are, but we're also going to look at the stats that are perpetuated out there on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, and where you hear them in the classroom and in the barbershop and in the churches, and how we're just not this and how we're not that. And in one of those things, studies that people will refer to might be from the 80s, might be from the 90s. So we're talking about parroting information that is outdated for decades and saying that's how it is. And it's not even close to being how it is. All right, let's go back.
We're the first ones to put this graph together, which makes it very, very easy to read. They actually even cited where the information comes from, the NSFG from the CDC. This year, when I went to go.
All right, so again, they're citing where it came from the CDC, right? You're looking for reputable places that are doing surveys and gathering statistics and data.
Go check the study. I need to get the picture for a video that I was doing. They had to put a caveat to that. February 19th, 2025. These statistics reflect self-reported data from the National Survey of Family Growth. Research has shown that men are more likely to underreport children they do not live with, which may result in some underestimation of fatherhood rates. So it lets Black women question the fact, well, this stuff isn't true because Black demographics, they said that there is an underestimation because Black men underreport the children.
And that would seem valid, right? That sounds logical in your head. But watch how he explains this.
Say the data is weighted for accuracy, but no survey is perfect. These trends should be used to inform discussions, not to assign blame. Because when you look at this, now Black men can confidently say, hold on now, we're not the ones having all these children. That debunks or challenges the narrative that has been in the Black community for decades. Because 54% of Black men ain't never had children. So only 46% of Black men have ever fathered a child. If you sent this to a Black woman and you said, nah, hold on.
And why is that true? I would be in that statistic, right? I am one of the 46% that have a child, right? But I also have a child with two different mothers. So that's it. That's part of it.
It's not, what you're saying is not true. Here, Black demographics says that 54% of Black men have never had a child. She goes to the site that you gave her. You give her the hyperlink. She clicks it. She looks at that picture. And then she'll look right under that picture and she'll read that paragraph and say, hold on, you quoting the study where they saying it's underreported. Y'all don't even report all your children. So that number could be what? Higher. You see how that works? A lot of people have a vested interest in making Black men look bad because you guys just learned that the study that they're actually talking about, it's accurate.
A lot of people saw the new.
Well, and here's the thing too, is when you have been told over and over and over again that you're negative, that you're bad, that these numbers are wrong, that we can produce these statistics that say this, that, and the other. When people in your own community are parroting these same statistics, you're more apt to believe those, right? And why would you go out? We're looking at a news article, headline clipping, a thumbnail, right? People don't read the article for the content. They're just looking at the headline and they believe it, they understand what it says, right? So on the surface, this is what it says, and this is what it's been saying for decades. So I'm going to say the same thing. I used to say 1 in 3 Black men were going to prison and convicted felons. Like I said, well, in a future episode, we'll either prove that to be true or we'll debunk it. But you could probably tell by the look on my face that's probably not true. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. And so if you're busy, or you just don't have the wherewithal or don't want to take the time to go and dig up the data yourself, understand statistics, like, man, I don't have time for this. This sounds right. This is what I've heard. Or, you know what? I don't care about that. Well, I don't think that data is right, so I don't believe it. Okay, well, whether you believe it or not, you have to guard your own reputation, right? The reputation of the group. What is true? You cannot allow them to continue to put misinformation out there about us, right? If this was your daughter or your son and some people were saying bad things about them that weren't true, you would defend that, right? So you have to defend yourself. You have to defend the group. All right, let's listen.
Disclaimer added to the Black demographics fertility chart and thought it somehow changes the entire conversation. It doesn't. All it did was give some folks an emotional escape hatch, not a factual one. Here's the reality. The CDC's National Survey of Family Growth is one of the most accurate, long-running fertility surveys in the United States. It oversamples Black Americans for precision, it uses weighted methodology, and it's backed by the same institution that produces every birth certificate in this country.
Wow. Okay, that's powerful, right? So not only, I mean, this is, I don't think it gets any more reputable than that. And if it's overseeing every birth certificate that's issued in the country, I mean, what more do you want there, right? So this is where you want to get quality information. So yes, this is coming ultimately from blackdemographics.com, but they're telling you where they got the information from, right? And so you got to dig, you got to peel back the onion.
That's the gold standard. Now, the disclaimer they added in February simply states that men may underreport children they don't live with. That's not new. That's been in the CDC documentation for decades. It's a standard academic caveat for self-reported surveys. It does not mean the data is flawed, and it does not overturn the results. Because here's the part people don't want to acknowledge. Even if some underreporting exists, the numbers don't change. Women don't underreport births. Every child born in this country shows up in the mother's fertility numbers.
Exactly, right? So you can't hide that. All of the births are counted through the mother, so you're still going to end up with an accurate count.
Period. And Black women still have higher fertility in every age bracket. Black women still have more 1-child, 2-child, and 3+ child households than Black men. Wow. And most importantly, the majority of Black men still have no children at all. For underreporting to overturn that, Black men would have to be hiding children at a rate high enough to magically increase male fertility without increasing female fertility, which is mathematically impossible.
Can't do it.
Somebody would have to...
Right? So a lot of these statistics are based on emotion, right? And if it's a gender war, and we're looking at, well, who's responsible? Oh, it's Black women that are responsible. Oh, it's Black men that are responsible. Oh, it's the white man that is responsible. Oh, it's white supremacy. It's systemic racism. It could be any of these things that you want to say is responsible, but what truly is responsible? Or what is the truth? What is the truth? We can get into what is the catalyst and what are the triggers that make these things happen, but what is the truth? That's what we have to get to, right? And it can be very easy to find yourself in an emotional state, especially if you're feeling attacked, right? We're talking about Black men here, but Black women can be emotional based on what they're hearing from us talking about these statistics, right? Because again, they've heard this forever and a day.
Give birth to those hidden kids, and the numbers don't show it. So the truth stands. Black men are not out here creating all these single mothers. Births are concentrated among a smaller subset of men, and most Black men have no children. That's not a narrative. That's math. The only thing the caveat does is give people who already disliked the results a talking point they can grab onto.
And again, the math works, just like I said, because I have 2 children with 2 different mothers, right? That's how that works.
It doesn't challenge the data. It just protects feelings. But feelings don't change arithmetic. The numbers remain the numbers. And the narrative that Black men are mass deadbeats has been statistically false for decades.
And that's why Black men, you got to be on your toes. And you got.
It's been statistically false for decades, but no one that I talk to, and I'm in all these nonprofit circles and health circles and social justice circles and reentry circles and all these different circles, we don't hear this. We don't hear this at all. It's, oh, Black man, you need to step up. You're being a deadbeat. You need to be a father. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then think. If the majority of Black men don't have children, it's even thrust upon them to step up and be a community father. Ain't that something? My dad used to tell me, he used to tell us, you know, we would want him to babysit our kids. And if he didn't feel like it, or if we felt entitled, he said, I wasn't the one that laid down and had the fun to make them. That's your responsibility. I don't know if you've heard anything close to something like that.
Do the research for yourselves.
All right. So that is Media Man. Again, please give him a subscribe, a like. We're going to get into a lot of statistics as we go through this series of reacting and getting into these statistics here. Hey, what's going on, Black Savant? Okay, cool. All right. Hey man, it's my birthday. I'm probably gonna do some raid tonight. So maybe I'll see you on tonight. But this is important stuff. And so we want to get into this and just make sure that we're armed, we have the information, and that as our boys are coming up and as we're just in our circles, we are not perpetuating this misinformation amongst ourselves, right? I hate sitting in a room and listening to these statistics and like, wow, man, we just got to do better. We just got to, man, we're just terrible. Man, wow, we're good. So, that's the first one. I want to keep them really short because I can be very long-winded. So I want to make it digestible for folks. So again, League of Black Male Voters. It's an organization that started last year, talking about our issues and what's important to us. So, I don't know if I'm doing anything virtual, but we are going to be having workshops on how to run for office. As you know, I ran for mayor last year and I ran for city council 2 years ago. What I want you to know is you're a citizen, you're a taxpayer, right? You are impacted by your community. You think that the president of the United States voting so high is what's important? No, it's local. The things locally are what affect you the most. You don't like how your schools are being ran. You don't like homelessness. You don't like crime. You want to see folks taking care of our homeless population. You want to see drugs off the street. Whatever it is that is important to you, and you see that your city or your county isn't doing it, then you need to go ahead and you need to run for office. And conversations that I have with Black men all the time, it's getting muffled. Oh, sorry about that. What I hear about Black men all the time is, man, I don't know what, I'm not qualified to run for office. I don't know. But I've interviewed a lot of city council people. I've interviewed mayors. I've interviewed commissioners. And a lot of them, they had to start from somewhere. They got to be in their bonnet and was like, you know what? I just want to do it. And they did it. And then they're in there. They didn't know what they were doing. They just knew that they didn't like how things were going. They wanted sidewalks. They wanted lights. They wanted whatever it is. So we're going to show you how to run for office. We're going to show you what it takes. We're going to take the mystery out of it. And we're going to support you through the campaign. We've got some folks here in this town that we need to replace. And that's in many of the cities so that we can make sure that our voice is heard and that we're actually represented, because much of us, we haven't been represented. All right. So anyway, I'm R1 Cameron. This is the Conduit Entertainment Network. I'll be back for another